Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another review. And today I'll be reviewing the highly anticipated TV show The Last of Us. So, The Last of Us is based on the video game back in 2013, literally 10 years ago. Perfect way to celebrate that game's 10th anniversary. And it was created by Neil Druckmann, the Emmy Award winning creator Sharon Chernobyl, which I haven't seen it, but I definitely need to watch it. And stars Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, and a bunch of others, and Gabriel Luna as well. And basically, the plot tells a story. If you play the game, then it's technically the same story. But for those who didn't really play the game, the plot is about Joel and Ellie who must pretty much survive a zombie outbreak. They go on a journey, like across like what is left in the U.S. In hopes for survival and a cure. And also, it all starts off with Joel losing his daughter, and then he comes across Ellie and a new girl who pretty much could be the key to the cure. And so they both go on adventures, and there will be some episodes where we will get like some a bunch of subplots. Yeah, so that's basically the plot. So, I am a massive Last of Us fan. It is one of my favorite games of all time, right up there with Mario Kart and the Spider-Man PS4 games, Spider-Man PS4 2018 and Miles Morales. And so yeah, but maybe when you look into an original game, Last of Us is my favorite of these original games. I mean, I absolutely love Last of Us. It's one of the most well written pieces of media I've ever seen. Again, I said one of their are there better written written things in the media? Yes, but maybe video game wise, I think Last of Us is the best written video game, and Ellie will always be my favorite character in a video game period. And yeah, when they announced a Last of Us TV series, I was absolutely hyped for it. My expectations were through the roof hype, and I put this as my second most anticipated show of 2023, thinking that Cobra Kai season 6 would come out this year. Although nowadays I got a slight feeling that that Cobra Kai season 6 would not come out this year and will come out in 2024. I'll be okay with that personally. I'll be okay with that. But at least we got Last of Us, yeah. But if Cobra Kai season 6 is not this year, then I guess Last of Us was technically my most anticipated show of the entire year in general. And let me tell you right now, after seeing all 9 episodes from The Last of Us, I gotta say, OMG. I absolutely loved it. This show was absolutely perfect. Yeah, I mean, the trailers already had me sold. I mean, the the trailers already had me sold, especially the one with the "Take on Me" song. "Take on Me" in my like top 20 favorite songs of all time. And yeah, even watching it from the first episode to the last, I absolutely fell in love with this episode. With this show. Yeah, I mean, this is without a doubt the greatest video game adaptation of all of it. Now, I don't like. It's kind of debatable in my opinion, mainly because there's still arcade. I think there's an arcade. I kind of on par, but I have to like think about which is truly the best video game adaptation. But it's really impressive both shows when both TV shows have the best of video game adaptations, and literally and literally just puts every single video game movie to shame. Yep, even the current best video game movie as Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yeah, this show puts all video game movies to shame. And yeah, even if the Super Mario Bros. Movie looks like it could potentially be the best video game movie, for sure it's not gonna top this. It's not gonna like be on the same level as Last of Us, because yeah, I'm sure Last of Us will be the best video game adaptation of the year. And yeah, wow, 2023, man. We've literally reached an era of the video game curse broken. When yeah, first Arcane, then Last of Us, and now Super Mario Bros. And then we also got Gran Turismo coming this August, which may also become my favorite video game movie. Depends on how it goes. Yeah, which I know a lot of people are not looking forward to Gran Turismo. I wonder why, because it's from the same director as District 9, but yeah. I just found out that this guy directed Chappie, a movie I forgot existed, and I've seen it though, it was forgettable, so we'll see. But I have high hopes for Gran Turismo, but yeah. Now let's talk about why Last of Us is fantastic. To put it simple, Last of Us is literally it is very faithful. Is completely 99.9% faithful to the show, faithful to the game it's based on. That 0.1%, yeah, there were a few bits and pieces of changes like throughout. You can clearly see, but they added extras to um how do I say this? They add extras in order to expand the story. But not only does it not please fans of the video games, but it also is able to cater to those who didn't play the game. I mean, those who didn't play the game, those who don't play the video game will still be able to follow on with this storyline. And yeah, the writing is absolutely perfect. It's able to stay true to the game while trying to be its own thing. Yeah, I absolutely love the visuals. It absolutely looks beautiful to look at. The clickers or zombies. Yeah, they call it the clickers. They look absolutely terrifying. Yeah, they look really scary. Especially the big bloater in season five. And but I think one of my favorite aspects of this show is the performances. Pedro Pascal is amazing. He's literally a perfect Joel. Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Well, since considering that Ellie is my favorite video game character of all time, well, of course Ellie is my favorite character in the show. In fact, I like this Ellie better than the video game Ellie. There I said it. And yes, I will go for saying I think this show is better than the video game it's based on. Yeah, there I said it. Love the video game, but I kind of enjoy this too. I like this show more because it feels more I don't know how you say it, but yeah, it's just simply better. And also you got like some really strong performances like like Gabriel Luna and who plays Tommy Miller, Joel's brother. You also got some amazing you also got some amazing supporting character. Already mentioned Tommy. There's also Marlene, who is the main human villain of the story of the show, and she's really good. And there's also Bill and Frank. Their chemistry in episode three was also perfection. And then there's Riley, played by Stormreed. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about the cast. I don't know why I feel bad for it, but yeah. I mean, Stormreed's one episode. It's just great. But yeah, Bella Ramsey is the standout. In fact, I think Bella Ramsey's might be one of my favorite Game of Thrones characters now. Maybe because I rewatched some scenes with some clips with Bella Ramsey. I think she might be one of my favorite characters, and most certainly the most underrated Game of Thrones character. And I mean, I gotta think about that if she would be my favorite Game of Thrones character. But for sure, I think she was better in this show. I think this is her best performance. Also, Pedro Pascal gives his best performance. He was even better here than in The Mandalorian. Sorry, Mandalorian fans. I still love him in The Mandalorian, but I thought he was better. I just thought he was better in this show. And I love that the supporting characters don't really take too much screen time. They only get like either one or two episodes depending on how the character is written. But the entire show mostly focuses on um, Joel and Ellie. Like their perfect chemistry together. Like they have like such a perfect father and daughter like bond that's just so beautiful. Joel is such a perfect father figure to Ellie, and Ellie is just too adorable. I mean, a lot of people hated Bella Ramsey's casting as Ellie, but I knew there was going to be something good. I told people that Bella Ramsey was going to be good as Ellie. Yep, I told you she was going. Yep, I told you Bella Ramsey was going to be amazing as Ellie. No one listened to me, but I told you so. And now Bella Ramsey is getting all the praise, and people are begging her to to get Emmy nominations because she is that good. That I mean, not I mean it shows that you don't judge characters based on the looks. You judge characters based on like how how they portray the character, like how I mean no, let me rephrase that. Don't judge character like when it comes to adaptations. Don't judge actors playing the characters based on the looks. Judge it by how much they stay true to the character. For sure, Bella Ramsey looks nothing like Ellie, but how she portrays Ellie is just done to perfection. And Bella Ramsey she deserves more. In fact, she could be in more she could be in movies. Yeah, I don't know if she has ever been in a movie before. And yeah, it's gonna be sad that Bella Ramsey might not be able to play Ellie anymore because she looks a little too old for Ellie. I mean, when it comes to season two, which by the way, season two has potential to be even better than season one because I personally think Last of Us Part Two is my favorite Last of Us game. And considering that they get an older Ellie, for sure, I think they're gonna have to recast Ellie. To me personally, um, if they want to make season two Ellie just like season one Ellie, I think they need to cast someone who could actually look like a like an older Bella Ramsey Ellie. I think Maisie Williams should be Ellie in season two in my opinion. Yeah, that would be perfect. And Abby as well. Florence Pugh is my all day, but there's actually this actress I keep forgetting her name, but she looks like Ellie, and even the actress herself like wants to play Abby now. Yeah, it's fine I guess. But we'll see how it goes. But I love Abby. But anyway, now let's talk about the episodes individually. Let's talk about them. Yeah, I think the first episode is one of the greatest pilot episodes of a show. Period. I mean, just um, and it's not even one of my favorite episodes of the show. That kind of shows how amazing this show is. Each episode just keeps subverting my expectations. Like that's kind of the thing. Also, the show itself, I wouldn't go as far as saying it surpassed my expectations. It just met them. It just met them. Yeah, I love the start of how seeing how Joel lost his daughter Sarah, played perfectly by Nico Parker, who was in that who gave an awful performance in Dumbo, one of the worst performances in that movie. But this was a huge step up for this actress's career. Um, and yeah, also just a perfect build up, and also a perfect build up to Ellie's character as well, despite not getting a lot. And then we also got episode two, which to me personally, I think episode two is even better than the first episode. Because this was the episode where they first introduced the clicker. This is the most terrifying episode because you get some in this episode you get actual real jump scares with the clickers, and wow, they are absolutely terrifying. And also my favorite shot, which is Ellie walking walking on the roof on this plank on the roof. That was my favorite shot, and episode two had that shot. Um and also that sacrifice, that scene with Tessa sacrificing herself. Yeah, really emotional. This show is actually has a lot of emotions as well. And then episode three, which is a very controversial episode, just because it has two gay guys kissing. I mean, come on, people, stop getting offended by LGBTQ moments. I think episode three was absolutely perfect. Now I did give this say this is the weakest episode, but I was this episode really grew on me over time, and I love seeing Ben and Frank's story. This feels like an artistic episode, just beautiful. And yeah, and then episode four, which I think is an underrated episode. I think it's an overhated episode. Yes, it's not one of my favorite episodes. I think it did. It felt like it flew by a little too quickly, but I still love this episode. More bonding. I love that there was some humor in this episode, and yeah, so much action. Although it did feel a little too quick, like what I said. Episode five is one of the best episodes of the show. Just literally, it feels like a mid like it's so perfect for a mid season finale. showing like just the raw emotions of two super innocent characters getting affected, and also a huge zombie apocalypse, a huge wave of zombie apocalypse that really like I mean, how do I say this? Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the film was that whole zombie wave thing, and then a big bloater shows up. Wow. Episode 5 was epic. Episode 6, admittedly, is the weakest episode of the show for me, but it's still fantastic. Yeah, I love episode 6. I just that episode 6 is the least memorable episode for me, but it's still, again, still amazing. And then we got probably the most overhated episode of the entire show, episode 7. This was my most anticipated episode right here because Ellie and Riley's backstory together. That was my favorite scene in the entire film, in the entire game. And having Stormy in this, I mean I kind of admire Stormy. I think I'm kind of a fan of her with this and Missing, which I just saw and I could review one day about think about it. And yeah, both Ellie and Riley's chemistry is just perfect in that episode. And while it is one of the slower paced episodes, and I wouldn't go for saying number one, it is definitely top tier episodes of the show. Storm Reed is perfect for Riley, and this is where Ellie's performance just starts to get better and better and better and better. And and then we episode 8 is my favorite episode of the entire show. And I mean, wow, episode 8 just blew my mind. I think it might be one of my favorite episodes of TV. Period. I mean, David is the best antagonist in The Last of Us. I mean, his presence just feels absolutely terrifying. And you really feel him. You really feel his arc and why he's doing what he wants to do. And I mean, I love those kinds of villains who would actually make a good point on what they're and why they're doing that villainous things and think that they're the hero doing the right thing. I love those kinds of villains, and David is no exception. And Bella Ramsey's performance in that episode was just next level. Literally, Bella Ramsey should win an Emmy because it is that good. And then we got like my favorite scene. My favorite scene in The Last of Us was in this show was when Ellie was running out of the kitchen after defeating David, and then Joel catches him and comforts him, and then says to like, "It's okay, baby girl." Wow, that scene really got me into tears, and that's my favorite quote in the entire show. Yeah, just beautiful. And then the recent finale. Now, yeah, I mean, I'm a huge finale stan. I mean, I have this kind of bias towards TV show finales. I always like to put them as the best episode because of its respective show because of how they would conclude it. But yeah, while I don't think the finale is one of my favorite episodes of the show, it did I mean, it did deliver a perfectly satisfying ending. I do wish they included the scene where Joel trying to save Ellie from the river. If you remember that scene in the game, yeah, they should have added that. But then again, this episode, yeah, really feels like one of the more accurate games. One of the most accurate moments to the game. Like one of the most faithful. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss the show. Yeah, I mean it's been a lot of fun watching the show from beginning to end, like every week when it comes out. So overall, The Last of Us is a perfect adaptation, one of the greatest adaptations of all time that other adaptations should take notes of, especially movie adaptations. It stays true to the game while trying to be its own thing to please people who don't play the games. It's got perfect performances, especially Pedro Pascal and especially Bella Ramsey, who is the standout in my opinion. And also, it's got like so many episodes that really subvert my expectations. While the show itself doesn't really subvert my expectations, it's still lived up to it. And yeah, this is already the best show of the year thus far. Unless if Cobra Kai, unless if Cobra Kai season 6 comes out this year, then this could actually stay as my favorite show of the year. And I would say that this is my fifth favorite show of all time in my top five. right behind Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, Wednesday, and Hawkeye. And yeah, and also I should add as well. This is without doubt the greatest HBO Max show of all time, even better than House of the Dragon, and better than Game of Thrones, and better than Euphoria. So yeah, I love the show so much. It's just wow. So with that said, I'm gonna give The Last of Us 10 out of 10 straight up. Also, I think this and Scream Six are tied as the best pieces of media I've seen this year. I can't really decide which one I like more. Maybe I feel more passionate towards Scream Six. I think Scream Six is what I'll probably go back to more. But I mean, again, this and Scream Six are both tied as the best pieces of media this year so far, thus far. So also for my review of The Last of Us, what is your opinion on this show? Do you think it's do you think it's a perfect video game adaptation that puts other video game movies to shame, or are you one of those people who say this show is overrated? Because I hear some people say that this show is overrated and overhyped, and honestly, I don't get it. I think it's not overrated. People are not overhyping the show. It's because it just knew how to adapt. So and by the way, people criticize the show for not having enough zombies, but it's not about the zombies. It's about the survival and the bonding between Joel and Ellie. So yeah. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos to come. I think I had one in mind, but I forgot what it was. But yeah. So yeah. Bye guys.